At some point, when you've got that much backing, it will work.
Yeah,
they're going to end up.
It's modern day football, isn't it?
I don't think any of them are going to go up this year. I don't think any of them deserve to go up. They're all League Two clubs. They're all in the correct division.
Yes, then. Okay, welcome back to the Flatcappers. We're here today with Scott and Will this time. Actually, I don't think Will's been introduced properly. Hopefully, as you can see on his head, he's not got a flat cap. So hopefully by the time this video goes out, he's bought a flat cap and has been introduced on social media. But this is Will anyway. We've met Scott. Scott, I'm actually a bit jealous of you. Like, I'm going to say it now at the start of the video. I'm jealous of you because you got a like from Sam Morsey on your introduction.
What can I say?
I feel like that is peak. He's doing all right at Middlesbrough at the minute.
No, he's having a good career, the lad's definitely one of the best players I've ever seen in a Chesterfield shirt.
Well, whilst we're talking about Chesterfield, I may as well get on to the main topic. This video is going to be looking at the promotion relegation candidates from the Championship through to the Conference. Obviously, with a focus on the Championship, see who comes up into the Premier League. But we need to start at the bottom and work our way upwards, work our way up the tree. And luckily for us, we've got a big Chesterfield fan. I'm going to be straight up and say I am not the foggiest what's happening in the Conference, but I imagine Scott does. So Scott, for you, this is
well, they're famous last words, mate. I've spent a few seasons watching it, and I mean, none the wiser. It's a bit of a mixed bag, at the minute. I think there's definitely going to be some question marks to get the elephant out of the room early on about whether you're even going to be able to finish this season. I think the further you go up the table, the more likely that it is to carry on. So I think you're looking Premier League and Championship, you're looking like you're going to be fine. Leagues 1, 2, National League. Weeks are getting that disrupted with social distancing and with COVID and kind of games being locked down, that it's tough to get a run together. I think last week in the National League, I think there was only 3 fixtures that went ahead.
To be fair, I saw Dover bottom. I didn't realise it was because they played so little. I just thought they were a bad side. They might be a bit of both.
No, I think it is a bit of both. They've not put many points on the board, but again, I mean, they've only played 11 games. It's barely anything, is it, really? I had a look down and narrowed it down to probably about 3 teams that really should be worrying. That being sort of Dover, Barnet and Weymouth are the ones I think have struggled the most so far. Bear in mind, there's 4 slots that go down in the National League. Obviously, 2 to the National League North and 2 to the National League South. So those 3, I think, need to worry a little bit. Other than that, I think it's kind of a mixed bag. I mean, the rest of the league is so tight. Those 3 are a little bit adrift. I think those 3 are about minimum 6 points adrift. Really, like I think the league's so tight. I mean, speaking of ourselves as Chesterfield, we're 17th, but we're only 5 points off 4th in the table. But the rest of the league is so compact. All it takes is someone to put a run together, and you're shooting up to the table. No problem. So really, it is anyone's to play for really at the minute, I think.
Go on, make a prediction. Then who's the 2 teams joining the Football League next year?
I think in terms of winning the league, I think you've got to look at Torquay really, and I put a cautious optimistic bet on Chesterfield.
A cautious optimistic bet on Chesterfield, 17th place to be promoted.
A new, like I say, we're only 4 points off the playoffs, mate. A new manager. We've got James Rose come in. He's had 7 games with us now. We've won 5, drawn 1, lost 1, scored 11, conceded 2.
Do you know why we're at it?
Why not?
While we're at it, why don't we just bet on Sheffield United to win the Premier League? We'll move on to a bit more familiar ground for all of us now. We'll go up to League 2. So it's the Football League we go. I'm going to say off the bat, the team that's going down is Bolton. Just is. Not even going to give a reason why. It's just Bolton. And if it's not Bolton, then it should be Bolton.
That's a horrible shout.
I'm not sure I agree with that. Seeing as though they're about 8 points clear at the minute, but
nah, it's Bolton.
Don't get me wrong.
I'm fully backing
DW in National League.
I can't. I'm not sure I'm ready to watch Wigan versus Bolton in League 2, which is a very, very realistic possibility next season.
They're basically the same place anyway, aren't they?
I mean, yeah, literally, yeah, connected.
I think the team.
Southend and Grimsby go on a massive run, right, and Bolton finish last.
Okay. I think Southend will get away from it. They've got enough experience. I think the teams that should worry are probably Grimsby, Stevenage, or Barrow.
Yeah.
The teams. Perennial strugglers, really, aren't they? Particularly Grimsby and Stevenage.
Yeah, I went with Grimsby myself. Yeah, Grimsby. Not only are they a horrible place to go to, like if they went down, but you have a double relegation because they go back to National League North, that'd be fantastic. Because their fans were brilliant when they went to Nevermore.
An interesting Grimsby as well, I tell you. An interesting place.
They don't deserve to be a Football League club, do they really?
The little corridor of death that they've got behind the away stand that you're all funneled through a gap that's about a metre wide is very interesting when you've got a load of Grimsby fans.
And anyone that forces Ian Holloway out of the club, not going well, is it?
Up the top end, there's a few decent teams this year, actually. Forest Green look a little bit better than they've looked before, but is it just the tale as old as time with Forest Green? They're going to look good until about April, and then they're going to finish sixth, and then they're going to lose in the playoffs.
I don't think any of them are going to go up this year. I don't think any of them deserve to go up. They're all League Two clubs. They're all in the correct division. It will stay as it is next year, I think.
But it does look a very League Two top of that table, doesn't it?
There's
no one really jumping out at me.
No, I must say, like, I keep looking at it and I'm like, Newport, maybe Newport, maybe.
They don't deserve to be in League One.
You're not fancying Mark Wright's Crawley Town.
I am fancying that.
No,
I was literally about to say. If there's anybody that deserves League One after the performance against Leeds at the last weekend, there's no standout, is there? There's no like, this team are doing well. It's just a lot of teams that are just kind of hanging around.
There's a lot of nonsense in that league. Just get rid of it.
If you look at the form as well, it's a bit all over the place. There's no one really putting any runs together.
I mean, I don't want to be the guy that says it, but there's a good chance that fraud Manchester United League One next year.
I mean, I feel like most people love to hate them. I mean, they've got all the TV money from the little Castle 92 documentary, but
I think the problem is going to be for people that aren't a big fan of Salford, and much to the delight of Salford fans, at some point when you've got that much backing, it will work.
Yeah,
they're going to end up.
It's modern day football, isn't it? I mean,
so Salford are on the way up. Whether it's this season, next season, the season after, Salford are on the way up. If you want to take Will's point of view, and nobody goes up from League Two, then I'm happy because at the minute we are struggling. I think it's been well done.
It's a bit of a sore point for you, this one, Sean. This next.
Do you know? I woke up on the right side of the bed this morning, so I'm not too annoyed about it today. But it depends on the day generally. Sometimes I wake up and I am absolutely furious. Well, we have got Kyle Joseph, the Scottish legend, up top. Go on, Kyle, lad. He's going to bag 20 more at the end of the year. We're going to finish mid-table and we'll get promoted next season.
I think you'll do well.
That's if Leeds stop poaching all their best young players.
As much as I like Wigan, and they're a proper club, but I think you're in trouble.
I think we're in trouble as well.
I think you're in trouble. I think you and Burton especially. I mean, Burton I think is sinking back to their natural level.
Honestly, I think we put the nail in Burton's coffin when we were 1-0 down, 2-1 down, 3-2 down, and we won 4-3.
Yeah.
Away from home. I think that was kind of the calling card for Burton.
Yeah.
But
I think
for us, for Wimbledon, for Swindon, for the teams around us, there's not a lot of points, and we've all played the same amount of games, so
There's another Lancashire club there though that aren't bringing much happiness to anyone ever in Rochdale. Like, it's
just such a brutal league, isn't it? I mean, 4 go down, so anyone can be at risk really, up to about kind of Shrewsbury, Bristol in kind of 17th, 18th.
Yeah, you got the state of you've got some decent sized clubs in that league.
Yeah,
it's a weird league.
I mean, on the other side of the league, we've got quite an interesting battle going on actually, because you've got Lincoln ahead by 4. You've got Accrington Stanley behind 9 points behind them, but with 4 games in hand. You've got Peterborough, who have played less games than Lincoln, and have got the best home record in the league, despite playing only 8 home games. Oh, sorry, got the 4th best in the league, but despite only playing 8 home games, they've only lost once at home.
You look at the amount of home games they're going to have to play in this kind of second half of the season, and you've got to think that's going to be an advantage, and you're able to put a run together, haven't you? I think Lincoln, for all the will in the world, I mean, I enjoy a good away trip to Lincoln. I've been there a few times. I quite like the place, but I think they're going to fade. I can't see them being able to keep up the level that they're playing at, especially being hunted down by clubs like Hull and Portsmouth that have got a lot more money, bigger squads behind them. So I can see Lincoln dropping down a little bit. I'm still think they're good for the playoffs, but I think probably looking at the top two, I think it's going to be Hull City, Portsmouth, or Doncaster.
It's really interesting League One at the minute, and do you know, I'd really like to see Peterborough just get promoted because they've always been much like Forest Green in League Two, serial strugglers at the back end of the season and just not been able to get up.
I mean, Peterborough have just got a real eye for being able to pick out a talented young player, haven't they? Look at the players that have been signed from Peterborough by bigger clubs in the past.
Peterborough, Brentford, and then you're into Premier League, then, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Just the scouting system they have there must be top notch.
I'm actually intrigued by Aki Stanley as well, just because I think it'd be funny if Aki Stanley went up. It'd be the most tin pot championship there's ever been, but it'd be funny.
It'd be worse than Wickham, that, wouldn't it?
I'll throw all my eggs into one basket and I'll say that Wigan are going to stay up because up the ticks. We've got the fighting spirit. DNA of defying the odds. And I reckon Peterborough go up. And I reckon Hull City go up automatically. And then hopefully, I'd love to see Accrington Stanley go up through the playoffs.
Let's go.
Championship. Let's go with the bottom. Who's going to struggle? Who's going to join Wigan Athletic in League One next year?
I reckon there's some clubs that need to be having a nervous look over their shoulder there, particularly our friends from just up the M1 in Sheffield. That owner is an absolute psychopath. Like, I don't know if you saw the interview the other day with Paul Cook, who said he was rejected for the job first time round, and they've asked him again now, and he's saying how the manager needs to manage, and at Sheffield Wednesday that doesn't happen. That Chansiri, who's in charge, is just dictating what happens in a way.
I'm saying I'm waiting for Chansiri to put himself in midfield. Never mind anything else. He's just going to put number 8 shirt on and start playing.
I think a lot of fans in the country would enjoy Sheffield Wednesday getting relegated.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of friends that are Wednesday fans, and they just say it's absolutely horrendous. It's the worst thing they've seen, like both on the pitch and off it. It's just a catastrophe, and like I say, the owner's an absolute nutter.
And so other field problems include Derby.
Including Derby, they've got this takeover going through at the minute, haven't they? This, I think it's some Saudi investment company that's got links to some prince that's it's on and then it's off and then it's on again, and it was meant to be pre-Christmas, but now it's not. So because it's been delayed, players haven't been paid, and then this idea of appointing Wayne Rooney as manager, which I do not think is a good decision at all. Fantastic
stuff.
He's never struck me as a cerebral bloke, and I think kind of to be a manager, you kind of have to have that side to you a little bit. And so I think Derby should worry. If I had to put money on anyone going down, I think I'm going to say Sheffield Wednesday, because they're on some nutter and no one likes Sheffield Wednesday. Rotherham, because it's what Rotherham do, isn't it?
Rotherham. Honestly, just say Rotherham and then stop.
It's just what Rotherham do. Rotherham go up, then they go down again. That's just Rotherham. And then Wickham, because I mean they're just massively punching above their weight, aren't they?
I only wish Ryan was here to defend Wickham's corner.
He would back
They're a top League Two, lower end League One side. Let's be honest. Us and Wickham, we were always going up together, going down together, like virtually the same club. And this is the pinnacle for Wickham, really. Like you go down to Adams Park, you know, like 10,000. What the average ground size 10,000. You can't possibly hope to compete with the former Premier League clubs that are getting parachute payments, can they? At the end of the day,
it's sad for him, really, because as you said, this is the potentially the biggest moment in the club's history, and they've just not been able to go to games and watch them.
Yeah, there's no way a club like that can compete with your kind of likes of sort of Norwich's, sort of Readings, Middlesbrough, Stokes, all these clubs that are still getting parachute payments to the tunes of many, many tens of £1 million a year.
So let's look on the flip side, and this is going to upset me even more. I was in a good mood up until this point, but I spoke about Alfie Devine playing for Spurs. Obviously, Jensen Weir's at Brighton, Joe Gellert's gone to Leeds. These are all Wigan Academy lads that have come through and signed for Premier League clubs. I look at the players that were part of that Championship team that Paul Cook put together that finished mid-table, finished 13th in the league, and managed to get relegated because of the EFL. And one of the big players in that team was Jamal Law, who's now gone to Swansea and is absolutely ripping it up in Wales. And it's part of the reason that Swansea are doing so well.
There's a few teams up there that I think this is the best the Championship's been for a while in terms of entertainment-wise, of who can go up from that top 9, 10. We were all battling for it.
What you mean by that is it's the first season in years where it's not, oh, Leeds United are going to go up this year.
Which I can watch it.
It's Leeds' year, boys.
Because the teams that as much as I hate to say it, Borough are in 7th with Colin, and there's no outstanding players in that team at all.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry, Sam
You'll
Morsy.
know that a Flatcap Flatcap liker, Sam Morsy.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show. He's a Middlesbrough player, so we'll have no disrespect.
Shout out to Sam. Sam, please come back.
The Egyptian king.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Other than Sam Morsy, there's no outstanding players in that team. But because Colin Warnock is his team spirit, it'll take him up. It's just weird, isn't it?
I'd love to see Middlesbrough.
That's Flatcap football getting sued by Warnock.
Sorry,
I actually love the idea of teams like that getting promoted. I don't know what it is. It's that when you think back to like teams like Blackpool when they got promoted to the Premier League, and
just a couple of places below, you've got Barnsley as well.
I can't believe Barnsley's so high up.
Yeah.
What are Barnsley doing up there?
The last year has been.
I know they should be in League One.
The last year has been so weird for everyone, and why not make it weird by having a Barnsley reintroduction to the Premier League? First time in what?
Premier League.
20, quite funny.
Years?
It's pointed out as well. But like I said, we stream on Twitch on some Saturdays and do 3 o'clock kickoffs, and that's because we do a group bet together as the Flatcappers. And Barnsley were actually the team that won us our first group bet. We always put big outside odd bets on. And Barnsley's 93rd minute winner, was it, against?
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was against.
It was against Alchemist.
But it's a late winner to make it 2-1. Actually brought our bet in and we won 400 quid each. The obvious ones, Norwich are going to be. Norwich are going up.
Yeah.
It's the second automatic promotion place that's going to be a strange one, because you've got Bournemouth, you've got a very, very informed Brentford side, and of course you've got Swansea, who look a tough team to beat as well.
Yeah.
It's
going to be an interesting race.
Middlesbrough all chasing.
I mean, a lot of those teams in that top 10, you'd say the usual suspects, wouldn't you? Your Norwich, Swansea, Bournemouth, Reading, Watford, Middlesbrough, Stokes. So it's a strong top 10. I really hope Brentford do it. I really do. I think they play a brilliant sort of attractive style of football. And they had such a good season last year. I think everyone thought they were going to get picked over. The best players were going to get picked up elsewhere and they're going to fade back down a little bit. But they managed to keep hold of the core of that squad, and they're doing really well this year. I really hope they do it.
We spoke about the relegation, but in terms of who's going to be in the Premier League next year, 3 teams. Who are the 3 Premier League teams next season from the Championship?
Norwich, Bournemouth, and Brentford.
Norwich, Bournemouth, I'd agree with. And I am just going to think that Borough are going to do it again. Norwich,
Swansea, and Middlesbrough, because I'm going to back Sam Morsy's boys to get promotion. Another video done from the Flatcappers, just the 3 of us today, 3 Musketeers, and 2 Flatcappers and a cap.
Golf cap.
Corner, but
it's just my shambles of the trim that I've got underneath it. I had to put something on.
We'll make do for now. Thank you very much for watching again. As with the last video, please comment down below. All of our socials are linked down there. Go over to Twitter, go over to Instagram. Come and watch us on Twitch, where we have a few drinks, have a chat, watch some football, have a bit of a laugh. Some Football Manager at times, maybe even some FIFA. Who knows? We'll see how we produce as we go along. But for now, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.